Hi guys, I am Tembelihle Mazbugo from the8thshot, and I am here with my team, which is the8thshot, broadcasting one of the pool games that took place on the 6th of October 2021 between Mark Selby and Shaun Murphy. So I will be having Silo Lukhodi with me, the co-presenter, and Silo and I will be discussing this game that took place. And yeah, let's get to it and welcome my co-presenter Silo.
Hello guys, this is Selby speaking. As my co-presenter has introduced me, today we're going to talk about the match that took place, which is Mark Selby versus Shaun Murphy. So today, tell me, what do we have and how did the match go?
Okay, so Silo, seeing from one of your tweets, your most famously read tweets, we saw that you actually do engage with the sports, and not just with the sports, but with the players as well. And it seems like you have a little bit of more insight about them and you know more. What is it that you would like to share about them actually, and your thoughts actually?
Okay, my thoughts about the two players. What I can share is that first, Mark Selby, when he came to this tournament, starting from the first round until the final, Mark Selby was not the favorite to win the tournament because he was being disrespected by former players who think that he's not fit enough to win the tournament.
Okay.
But Mark Selby proved them all by going throughout the tournament to the final to play against Shaun Murphy. So Shaun Murphy was also the one who had the best rankings according to the world full Billboard rankings in the world. He had the advantage of being the best against Mark Selby.
Exactly my point with what you just said. I could actually tell from the game that this was just not a game, but actually personal. It had to do with more of where I've been, what I want, and putting it all. Yeah.
Exactly what you are saying. That's a good point that you said. But coming to this final, both of the players, they came with so many difficult games that they've played throughout the tournament, especially Shaun Murphy. He played one of the toughest matches as he ever has played in this tournament, which was the semi-final. He said the semi-final was very toughest one of his career. So that one he had to bring out this A game to win the semi-final to go to the final to play against Mark Selby.
Alright, so I hear from every point he has given out, and clearly this is a hot game. It's a game on, head on head. So what's gonna happen now is we would like to hear just one more of a comment from Silo, and after that we'll take a quick ad break.
The comment that I will say about the game, everyone on the tournament was supporting Shaun Murphy because on paper Shaun Murphy had the advantage to win this final because of the history that they've been playing against each other from back tournaments. But you know what they say, on paper, anything that does not work, you have to play the game and see how you can win.
Welcome back everybody. As you can see, we still have our doctor of analysis of billiards, Silo. So the next question, or rather where we're moving into now, we will focus more about the game. We'll be talking about the game.
It's coming back down. 40. He's really stitching at all. Just solid as a rock. Now,
70. 75.
Selby winning fourth world title. And then you start, no better player over these 4 session matches than this man. From running. Well, first things first, win Leeds with another century.
90.
Takes him to the brink.
This is my question to you and my concern. Because to be honest, I thought legends or professional pool players don't get to miss a shot. With that game of the first round, we saw that they struggled to put a shot of one of the red balls in order for them to continue with the game. What do you have to say about that? Because even with myself, I don't think I would miss a shot so many times. What do you have to say?
Well, first of all, what I will say is that I think maybe both players, they did not prepare enough. That's what I could say for the first time. But I think, according to where I can compare them between Mark and Shaun, Mark, I will say he spent more time practicing, because at the end of the first time, you can consider he was the one who was leading, because he forget all the balls to win the first round. So you can see that he spent more time practicing than Shaun, because Shaun was missing a lot of shots.
Okay, sticking on that, and as a billiards analyst, do you think it's professional for you to put it that way, that the other is more prepared and practiced more? Or from my view, just saying, I would say, I don't know what you're going to say because he knows it better. Could it be the nerves? He was nervous?
I think maybe he was nervous because he's coming from a semi-final. That way he had a tough match. Maybe he was feeling that nervous and nerves, those kind of things that how games play. Understand? So he had those kind of things. But I will say, according to what I saw, he did not spend enough time to practice, because if he had a tough match on the semi-final and he won to come to the final, surely this means he could have carried what he left off into finish of the game where on the final.
Okay, as we have heard from the analyst himself, his word against ours. He knows the game better, so what do we have to say? So now another interesting question I have in terms of the game is, do you think Mark made it obvious in terms of showing that he has fear or what might happen? Did he have that at the back of his head? Whether between the two of them, let me not just ask individually, but from both of the players, who made it more obvious that I have this thing at the back of my head, that am I going to win? What is going to be the final outcome? What's happening? And who had the more courage and showed it less?
First, I will say who had the more courage is Mark, because if you look at the way they were playing, Shaun, when he was missing his shot, with too much space. And if you look at Mark, the way he was missing, he was just slightly big to go in. So you can see that all these two players, one of them was in nerves, others was even too close. He was confident, but the one who was so obvious that I can win this, it was Mark. Because Mark also, remember, Mark is coming from disrespecting comments from the former Billboard players who say he doesn't have a chance to win. So you have that encouragement of, let me prove them all that I am the best. So that's how I can say Mark has the obvious thing of winning of the game.
Okay, and moving to our second last question. Hopefully, talking about the game again, sticking to the game, would you say, in your best opinion and in your honest opinion, was that game between the two players worth a final, or we could have had better players in the final?
I think the final was not that entertaining, but what I can say is that if they have spent more time practicing their shots, we could have a most entertaining game ever. Because if you remember, first round, Mark showed that he still got everything that he can do. So Shaun was just scared and even nervous because he just came in and just, no, I got this, but if you can tell, it's a game. Understand? So you have to have a confidence, show what we have got. But so far I can say, even Shaun came back in the third round to say, okay, I got this, you will get the confidence. But Mark was already ahead of him because once you get the first run going for you, then you know that the rest will just come along the way.
So how you're trying to put it and say is, after the first round, it was clear that Shaun had a challenge for himself.
Yes, I will say that.
And what would you say about the score, the final score?
The final score, because you know that at the final round, you have to pocket all the balls where you can declare as a winner. So at the final round, Mark makes sure that he doesn't miss any shot so that you can continue forward. Making sure that he can pocket, because if you remember at the final, he had a shot, he missed it. Then Shaun also came in, he had a shot and missed it. So that's when Mark saw that no, he had a chance against two, get another shot through, score there. After scoring another ball, he kept on going, scoring and scoring until Shaun has seen, no, this guy is really proved that thing. That's when he said, no, he's the champion, until he pocket the final ball to become the champion.
Okay. So I think we've heard more than enough than we'd like to hear about the game and the players. We are now more insightful about them and the game. So my final question to Silo, our analyst, is who would he have preferred to see in the finals and being more determined? Because according to him, as I have received his response, it's as if he had better players to put in there, or he had a better outcome or a better game to look forward to, and clearly it wasn't the way he was expecting it. So my question to him is, who would you have liked to see in the finals, or who would you like to see in the next coming finals 2022?
Okay, for this final, what I would love to see, I wanted to see Mark versus Ronnie Sullivan.
Okay.
Because if you look at Ronnie Sullivan, is the one of the best currently if you look at the rankings. Because Mark Sullivan was the champion since 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So Ronnie Sullivan was just a guy that will give Mark a tough game to know that no, you've come to one of the best, so you have to bring up your A game. So that was the play that I can say I would love to see in the final.
Okay, so you're saying it could have been more entertaining, more heated up, and more interesting to watch.
Yeah, more interesting, because if you remember, Mark also has some final that he won back in there. Because right after winning this final, he came for the fourth time for winning this champion. But Ron Sullivan has more champions than Mark, so it will have brought some that glimpse of entertainment. Because I don't think Ron Sullivan will miss those kind of shots. He will just one shot going along the way.
Speaking about missing of shots, would you say that was a fair game or second chance, which will never happen? But what is your opinion?
My opinion, I will say it's a fair game. You miss, you give the other player a chance. You score, you continue to play. Just like I will say how I'll just give an example about basketball. You score, you give the other team to start the ball so that they can score against you. So if you score in two, you just have to continue play again. If you score, just continue. So in two, you have to score. Make sure that you score if you want to have more chances of winning. Because if you miss to anything other player to score and That's what happened in this game.
Okay, I think that's enough from us, and we have heard all that we have liked to hear about the game and how it went, the analysis of it. And from me and the 8thshot team, we would like to thank the final game that happened between Mark and Shaun, a very entertaining and interesting one, and our analysis Dr. here, Silo. Thank you for being with us and taking those questions and giving us a better insight of the game and the players for those who weren't really fond with them. I presume and assume that now they have a better understanding when it comes to pool, billiards, and its players. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Till next time. Ciao.